Happening now, an NYPD officer on modified duty conspired to distribute kilogram quantities of fentanyl and heroin. And the community rallies for a local boy injured in a fall at a fundraiser event. Plus, a Congresswoman calls for the resignation of a Cornell professor over controversial comments.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us at Western New York News Now. I'm Lee Kane Jr. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, on the evening of October 20th, 2023, at approximately 11:23 p.m., Jamestown Police Department's 3rd Platoon officers responded to reports of a large street fight near the intersection of Newland Avenue and Charles Street. Upon their arrival, they found that the group involved in the altercation, which included juveniles, had largely dispersed. Upon investigation, it was alleged that during the brawl, a neighboring resident, Jacob A. Michael, a 30-year-old Jamestown male, emerged from his home brandishing a handgun equipped with a laser sight, which he pointed at the group. Michael was subsequently taken into custody without any resistance and transported to the city jail, where he remains held pending arraignment. Law enforcement officers were able to secure the weapon, a loaded 9mm handgun, which had been used during the incident. Jacob A. Michael now faces charges of criminal possession of a weapon in the 2nd degree, menacing in the 2nd degree, and endangering the welfare of a child. Well, in other news, Christy A. Eddy, a 50-year-old female, is facing serious charges following an incident that unfolded on October 22, 2023, at approximately 2:02 p.m. Officers from the 1st Platoon of the Jamestown City Police Department were dispatched to a residence on the north side of the city in response to a report of an unwanted person. Upon arrival, they identified the suspect as Christy A. Eddy. Subsequent investigation alleged that Eddy had unlawfully entered the victim's apartment, where she reportedly shoved the occupant, leading to her fall onto a male juvenile inside the residence. During the altercation, the juvenile sustained minor injuries, while the incident unfolded in the presence of a child. Shortly after the incident, law enforcement took Eddy into custody and transported her to the Jamestown City Jail. She is now being held pending arraignment on charges of burglary in the 2nd degree, endangering the welfare of a child, and harassment in the 2nd degree. Well, in other news, on the night of October 20th, 2023, at approximately 10:18 p.m., Chautauqua County Sheriff's deputies were dispatched to Cayetone Road in response to a report of a single vehicle rollover. The operator of the vehicle, identified as Benjamin Eggleston, a 33-year-old male from Asheville, New York, emerged from the accident uninjured. Upon further investigation into the incident, it was determined that Benjamin Eggleston had allegedly been operating the vehicle while under the influence of alcohol. As a result, Eggleston was taken into custody by law enforcement officers. He now faces charges of driving while intoxicated with a blood alcohol content (BAC) level of 0.08% or greater, and failing to maintain the right side of the road. Eggleston is expected to appear before the town of Cayetone Court on a later date to address the charges against him. Well, in other news, on the evening of October 22, 2023, at approximately 5:12 p.m., the Jamestown Police Department's 2nd Platoon responded to a reported domestic dispute in the southern part of the city. Subsequent investigation revealed that Jordan A. Johnson, a 29-year-old city resident, was involved in the dispute and had allegedly caused damage to property belonging to the victim. Without any reported incidents during her apprehension, Johnson was placed under police custody and transported to the Jamestown City Jail. She is currently being held and awaiting arraignment on a charge of criminal mischief in the 4th degree. As WNY News Now continues, an NYPD officer on modified duty conspired to distribute significant quantities of fentanyl and heroin. And later, the community rallies for a local boy injured in a fall at a fundraiser event. Stay with us, as WNY News Now will be right back.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
You are loved. You are valued. resilient. You got this.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides at aarp.org/caregiving.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
An NYPD officer, Grace Rosa Baez, has been charged with conspiring to distribute significant quantities of narcotics, including fentanyl and heroin. Baez, alongside her co-defendant Cesar Martinez, is accused of engaging in this illicit trade from at least October 9, 2023 until their arrest on October 19, 2023. U.S. Attorney Damian Williams stressed the gravity of the situation, noting that Baez had taken an oath to protect and serve the people of New York City, but had allegedly flagrantly violated that oath by peddling narcotics responsible for numerous tragic deaths in the city. He emphasized that law enforcement agencies would relentlessly pursue those involved in the distribution of these deadly substances. The charges filed against Baez and Martinez reveal a disturbing pattern of behavior. They allegedly had numerous conversations with the confidential source, CS, working with law enforcement about wholesale narcotics trafficking, offering to sell kilogram quantities of fentanyl, heroin, and cocaine. For instance, on October 11, 2023, Baez offered to sell the CS 2 kilograms of fentanyl for $30,000 per kilogram, along with an additional 400 grams of heroin. On October 16, 2023, Baez provided the CS with a sample of fentanyl. The illicit activities continued on October 17, 2023, when Baez handed the CS a sample of heroin. Martinez then contacted the CS and negotiated the sale of approximately 1 kilogram of heroin and 800 grams of fentanyl, with plans to have cocaine available in the following weeks. On October 19, 2023, Baez and the CS met to complete the narcotics transaction, leading to their arrest. Law enforcement also discovered additional suspected narcotics inside the apartment shared by Baez and Martinez. Baez, who had been employed as a police officer with the NYPD since around 2012, was placed on modified duty in 2020 following accusations of misconduct. Despite being on modified duty, she allegedly engaged in narcotics trafficking activities while on duty, further tarnishing the reputation of the NYPD. Both Baez and Martinez face serious charges. Count 1 charges them with conspiracy to distribute fentanyl and heroin, carrying a mandatory minimum term of 10 years in prison and a maximum sentence of life imprisonment. Counts 2 and 3 pertain to narcotics distribution, carrying a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. It is important to note that the charges in the complaint are accusations, and the defendants are presumed innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law. The case is being handled by the office's narcotics unit, with Assistant U.S. Attorney Amanda C. Weingarten overseeing the prosecution. Well, in other news, Dalton, a young boy, has been grappling with repeated bouts of pancreatitis since 2020. His struggle for a life-changing surgery to alleviate his condition has become ensnared in an insurance dispute, prompting a GoFundMe campaign to seek financial support. In a heart-wrenching medical journey that began in 2020, Dalton, a child resident of Buffalo, has endured multiple episodes of pancreatitis, a rare and painful condition not commonly diagnosed in children. These unexpected episodes led to multiple hospitalizations and a series of interventions, yet a permanent solution remains elusive. Dalton's ordeal commenced on February 13, 2020, when he was rushed to the emergency room due to excruciating stomach aches. Subsequently, he was transferred to Buffalo Children's Hospital, where he was diagnosed with pancreatitis, a condition rarely seen in pediatric patients. After a week of intensive treatment, which included fluids and numerous medical tests, Dalton was discharged. This marked the beginning of a recurring and debilitating pattern, with subsequent attacks striking on June 1, 2020 and August 30, 2021. In January 2022, doctors believed they had identified the root cause of Dalton's recurrent pancreatitis and performed an appendectomy in hopes of resolving the issue. However, this intervention failed to alleviate his suffering, and the agony continued. On April 26, 2022, Dalton underwent an endoscopic ultrasound in the U.S., revealing a diagnosis of pancreatic divism. Further genetic testing identified a gene mutation known as CFTR, shedding light on the underlying cause of his condition. The most recent pancreatitis episode occurred in May 2023, further emphasizing the urgency of Dalton's situation. On August 1, 2023, he was admitted to Oshie Children's Hospital for a surgery called endoscopic retrograde cholangiopancreatography, ERCP, which aimed to place a stent to manage his condition. Unfortunately, the procedure was unsuccessful as the hospital lacked the specialized pediatric equipment required. Dalton was subsequently referred to the Cincinnati Children's Hospital Pancreas Center, known for its expertise in comprehensive facilities in managing complex pancreatic cases. A surgery at the center, scheduled for November 2, 2023, offers hope for Dalton's long-awaited relief. However, an insurance roadblock has emerged as the insurance company is refusing to cover the cost of the procedure, arguing that it should be performed in New York. Desperate to secure this life-changing surgery for their son, Dalton's family, led by his mother Lacey, launched a GoFundMe campaign to cover the mounting medical expenses. The family's frustration stems from their repeated appeals to the insurance company, which included pleas from the physician who attempted the initial surgery and support from the physicians at Cincinnati Children's Hospital. Despite these efforts, the insurance company remains steadfast in its decision not to provide coverage. Dalton, a vibrant and active child who enjoys cycling, has seen his life marred by the unpredictable and debilitating nature of pancreatitis. Each episode leaves him bedridden, relying on pain medication and fluids for relief. The surgery in question, a total pancreatectomy with islet autotransplantation, TPIAT, offers the potential to prevent future episodes and potentially avert the need for a transplant. The ultimate goal of the GoFundMe campaign is to raise the necessary funds to ensure Dalton's access to this critical surgery and chance for a pain-free future. In a statement to Western New York News Now, Lacey said, "Dalton has had medical issues since the day he was born. He's been fighting through every obstacle thrown at him. He's a fighter. He loves BMX and loves spending time with his race buddies. I often get told he's the sweetest, happy, caring, and funny little guy, and I couldn't agree more. Right now, insurance is dictating if Dalton will get the procedure he needs, and it feels like a never-ending battle. We need prayers more than ever." The family is counting on the generosity of friends, family, and well-wishers to support Dalton in his journey towards a healthier, happier life. Well, in other news, in a heartwarming display of community solidarity, residents of the region gathered at the Northwest Savings Bank Ice Arena this past Saturday to support Landon Tota, a young boy who has been hospitalized following a traumatic fall on July 4th earlier this year. The event was a testament to the power of collective compassion and local unity. Western New York News Now had the opportunity to speak with Landon's parents, Jake and Abby Tota, who expressed their profound gratitude for the outpouring of support they have received from the community. Abby Tota shared her heartfelt appreciation, emphasizing the significance of the friends and neighbors who came forward to support Landon during his time of need, saying, "Coming here tonight, seeing a lot of friends and family that we haven't seen since prior to Landon's accident is very overwhelming in the best way possible to see all of the support. We've seen their support from the start, but seeing everyone come together here in person, it's very heartwarming. I'm very proud of where we come from and the support we've gotten from the community. It's fantastic." Jake Tota, Landon's father, marveled at the overwhelming support his son has received, stating, "You never think that it's going to be your kid on the posters around, but it's crazy seeing the support that our little guy has received. As his parents, we know he deserves everything, but it's amazing to see the community come together for our kid with the support he deserves. I just want to thank everybody for coming together and supporting our little guy." The Totas also acknowledged the remarkable sense of community that has been integral to their experience, highlighting the extraordinary support they've received. Jake Tota expressed, "Everybody complains about living in a small town, but it's been a blessing having such a tight-knit community come together and support such a special little guy." The Tota family conveyed their heartfelt appreciation to everyone in the community who has extended their support through kind words, thoughts, and actions. Their journey has been illuminated by the tremendous love and backing demonstrated by their neighbors and friends. The fundraiser at the Northwest Savings Bank Ice Arena underscored the capacity of a united community to come together in times of adversity and provide assistance to those in need. Landon's story serves as a reminder of the power of empathy and the strength of bonds within a close-knit town. The event, marked by its emotional resonance and strong turnout, not only generated essential financial support for Landon's ongoing medical needs, but also demonstrated the unbreakable spirit of a community that stands together in the face of adversity. Well, coming up next, a Congresswoman calls for resignation of Cornell professor over controversial comments. But first, we return with a look at our full weather forecast.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Right here, baby. Look. Uma.
Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense weather.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. It was a chilly start to the morning across the region, with some areas overnight last night dropping into the upper 20s. Here at Jamestown Airport, we dropped down to 31 degrees, so inland locations woke up to some frost on the grassy surfaces as well as on the cars. So while it was a chilly start to the morning, at least we had a lot of sunshine this afternoon. We'll have more sunshine tomorrow. We'll also be warming it up through the rest of the week, although those warmer temperatures will not be lasting long, as the NOAA 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, which spans October 30th through November 5th and includes Halloween, does bring below average temperatures back across our region, western New York and northern Pennsylvania, as well as pretty much the entire continental United States, unless you're down in the Florida area and California and Arizona, where those above average temperatures will be. A trough will be digging across the region, bringing below average temperatures back to the region, heading in towards the end of October and into the beginning of November. Almanac for today made it to a high of 46 degrees yesterday in the city of Jamestown. Our low was 38, and the records for today: 80 set back in 1979, the record low of 21 set back in 1974. So let's time out future scan through the overnight hours tonight and into the day tomorrow. The clouds will be on the increase a bit tonight, although we're not expecting anything in the way of any showers, just an increase in cloud cover. After some early morning clouds tomorrow, those clouds will burn off, and then we'll be left with another beautiful day tomorrow of partly to mostly sunny skies. It will be warmer tomorrow as well. Similar to tonight, tomorrow night we will have an increase in cloud cover across the region. Future scan trying to bring in some showers to the region. I'm not completely sold on that. While there will be an increase in cloud cover, I don't think there's going to be anything in the way of showers to contend with Tuesday night into Wednesday, although more clouds around on Wednesday. Your forecast again for tonight: partly to mostly cloudy skies, not as chilly as it was last night with that added cloud cover. Overnight lows will range from the upper 30s across inland locations to the mid 40s near the immediate Lake Erie shoreline. Your forecast for your Tuesday tomorrow: partly to mostly sunny skies, temperatures making it into the mid to upper 60s with a south wind of 8 to 14 miles per hour. The rest of that 7-day outlook from Ultimate Solutions: so high pressure across the northeast will keep us mainly dry through the week. Maybe an isolated shower Wednesday night into Thursday, with cloud cover, more cloud cover Thursday into Friday. Temperatures throughout the week generally in the mid to upper 60s, some lower 70s in there as well. A cold front's going to begin to cross the region sometime Friday night into Saturday. That's going to bring more showers to the region by the time the weekend rolls around, and also lower those temperatures back down into the 50s, and then we're in the low 50s by next Monday, continuing the showers. And then right now looks like Halloween could be on the cooler side, maybe with a chance of a few showers. Temperatures long range looking like they will continue to trend downward into the middle of next week.
Andrew, thank you. Well, in a strongly worded letter addressed to Cornell University President Martha Pollack, Congresswoman Claudia Tenney has demanded the immediate resignation of Professor Russell Rickford. The controversy revolves around Professor Rickford's remarks made during a pro-Palestine protest on Cornell's campus, which have been labeled as anti-Semitic and pro-Hamas. The call for Professor Rickford's resignation comes in the midst of heightened tensions in the Middle East, particularly the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas, which has led to the tragic loss of over 1,300 lives in Israel. During the protest, Professor Rickford reportedly referred to the acts of violence against Israeli civilians by Hamas as energizing and exhilarating. These comments have drawn sharp criticism and condemnation. In her letter, Congresswoman Tenney underscored the gravity of Professor Rickford's remarks and the potential implications of his actions. She insisted that such expressions of anti-Semitism and vocal support for terrorism should not be tolerated in academia or any other facet of society. She also highlighted the significant role that educators play in shaping young minds, asserting that this role requires a higher standard of behavior. Congresswoman Tenney expressed her concern that Professor Rickford's comments not only violated his ethical responsibility as an educator, but also posed a potential threat to the safety of the Jewish community. Furthermore, she asserted that these comments had the potential to tarnish Cornell University's reputation. The letter concludes with a plea to Cornell University's president, Martha Pollack, urging her to take the matter seriously and recognize the seriousness of the statements made by Professor Rickford. This call for resignation has ignited a debate over the boundaries of free speech, academic freedom, and the responsibility of educators in the face of contentious international conflicts. The university has not yet issued an official response. Well, coming up next, the Rocky Horror Picture Show is set to return to the big screen for a special screening.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
If you want to speak truth to the masses, make it funny for the classes.
Hi everyone, Al Roker here. As a guy with his own catchphrase, I appreciate that Smokey's only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
But I'm filling in because there's a lot more to report. Like when there are parched or windy conditions out there, you gotta be extra careful with things like burning yard waste. After all, wildfires can start anywhere, even in your neck of the woods. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
In a thrilling revival of cult cinema, the Rocky Horror Picture Show is returning to the Resignation Center for the Arts on Friday, October 27th at 10 p.m. Fans of the timeless classic can expect an unforgettable night at the movies. The story follows the misadventures of Brad and Janet, played by Barry Bostwick and Susan Sarandon, who find themselves stranded during a storm with a flat tire. Seeking refuge, they stumble upon the eerie mansion of Dr. Frankenfurter, portrayed by the legendary Tim Curry, a charismatic transvestite scientist. Their journey takes an unexpected turn as innocence gives way to a bizarre and wild world filled with eccentric characters, including a motorcycle-riding Meatloaf and a creepy butler played by Richard O'Brien. The Rocky Horror Picture Show is not for the faint of heart, earning its R rating with a blend of elaborate dances, rock songs, and boundary-pushing themes. The highlight of the evening is Frankenfurter's unveiling of his latest creation, a muscular man named Rocky. For those interested in attending this special screening, the ticket price is set at $15. Additionally, a $5 fun pack will be available for purchase, including various items essential for active audience participation, such as rice, playing cards, glow sticks, and mini gloves. True to tradition, expect strong language and enthusiastic shouting from fellow audience members. Well, that's going to be it for us today. I'd like to thank you all for watching. News continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com and on our mobile app. You can download it today for free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. We're also on Channel 716 on Roku and at channel716.com. Thank you for watching.